Hello friends, this is the second installation for my BMAC friends of office yoga. So just a couple of moves here that you can do in your office. Dooley will be joining us today and he seems to be on fire, so if he's meowing, I apologize. He apologizes in advance. We'll see how he does once we get started here. So today, you can just have, this is going to be your office chair. Mine's a regular chair, but you'll be able to use your office chair. If you have one that doesn't have arms on the side, that's best, but it's still workable. Don't let that dissuade you and not do yoga just because you don't have a chair without arms. That's silly. And then if you have some kind of strap or rope or something that you can use, and if not, then you can just skip that piece, or if not skip it, you can go it alone without the strap. But I'll speak to the strap. So if you have a belt or something you can use, you'll grab that, right? So we're going to start sitting down today. And we're going to go into body scanning and breath work, but before you do, just, where you're sitting on the chair, just take a second and sit yourself all the way back in your chair. And notice, depending on your chair, that more often than not, when our back goes to the chair, right, to come to the chair back, that's supposed to be so great for us so we can sit upright and have support. We are in a rounded position, right? Our pelvis moves back, we're on the back of our buttocks bones, we're folding into that back end, which then just kind of accentuates, right? Or perpetuates might be a better word, that rounded spinal curve. When I come away, it looks a little something like this. This is not very proper posture, nor is it very good for the spine or our nerves or our organs, etc., right? So I'm going to ask you to scoot your buttocks out to the very edge of your chair. If you need support, I'm not going to take it away from you. Just try not to use that full back support and try to find that your spine is doing some of the work. And that might be where you start with some of this work, right? You might not automatically be on the end of the chair. We use little support systems to find the core work till it can support us. If it's available, you're going to scoot to the very edge of the chair. My buttocks bones are on, but my thighs are off. I have my heels directly under my knees. I have my knees directly out from my hips, hopefully the same height. If you can adjust your chair height for that, do that, right? And you might even adjust it from day to day depending on what shoes you have on. And then from there, you want to try to find the middle of the buttocks bones. We're going to play a little game to find that today. You can put your hands on your knees or on your desk in front of you, right? And then you're going to go ahead and you're going to inhale. Let your frontal hip points start to roll forward. You're going to rock onto the front of your buttocks bones, right? I'm in a tilt and upper back bend, I could say, or back bend. And then I'm going to exhale. I'm going to pull my frontal hip points back, roll onto the back of my buttocks bones. My spine rounds, and I'm a little in that forward position. And again, go ahead and pull those frontal hip points forward and let that spine come into a back bend, but just notice you're on the front of your buttocks bones. And then exhale, as you pull those hip points back, you are now on the back of your buttocks bones. Go ahead and do that 2 more times, and this time, still be aware of that, but let's go into a little chest opening here, reaching forward and up. Our gaze might shift up. Exhale, when you round back, let that area between the shoulder blades reach for the wall behind you. 1 more time, inhale, reach that chest forward, just starting to move the spine and the pelvis. Exhale and round. If you've been sitting around down a lot today, this is really good stuff, right? And then come to the middle. If you're still not sure, you can go a little forward and a little back. Just make it a slightly smaller motion until you find the very middle of your buttocks bones. And then once you have the middle of the buttocks bones, hopefully your pelvis is neither too far forward nor too far back. And then the spine can grow up nice and tall out of that. So this is the crown of the head right about here, right? Think of the crown of the head just really lightly, almost like a helium balloon reaching up for the sky. And if those shoulders are forward, just broaden the collarbone a little bit. Don't go too crazy with that. And here we are in what we're going to call proper posture. From this place, close your eyes. And we're going to go to a body scan. So when I bring you to these areas in your body, I'll talk you through it. I'd love you to A, try to soften if it's really tense and tight. B, notice if there's anything else going on, pain, throbbing, pulsing, pins and needles, muscle spasms, temperature, any other sensations at all, right? So bring your awareness into your forehead, your eyebrows, and the muscles around the eyes. And then soften the bottom jaw, the bottom teeth away from the top teeth. the tongue away from the roof of the mouth and check in and see if there's anything else happening in that region. Bring your awareness into your throat and your neck. And let that come on down through the shoulders, shoulders away from the ears, shoulders softening down through the arms, all the way down to the hands and the fingers. And just take an extra breath, noticing. And then bring your awareness into the muscles and the entire back body from the neck all the way down to the sacrum and tailbone area. And again, just take about 2 breaths there. Notice if there's pain or pulsing, any of those sensations we talked about. Now we can't soften these muscles entirely or we become a puddle on the floor, but we don't want to be overly rigid either. And then check into the front side of the torso from the throat all the way down to the pubic bone. The belly muscles can be super duper soft. That's how we start to get deeper into our breath. But check everything else. And then bring your awareness into your hips. Notice if they're holding on, if they have to work really hard to have the knees in front of the buttocks bones. Right? Try to keep the knees there, but soften anything that you don't need in order to hold them there. And then scan through the legs, the feet, and the toes. Bringing your awareness into that soft, soft belly. As a matter of fact, that belly is so soft that when you inhale, the belly floats away from the spine. And when you exhale, the belly floats back in towards the spine. And again, inhale, let that belly float away from the spine. And exhale, belly floats back into the spine. And then with your inhale, go ahead and open the eyes. And from there, we'll begin to move a little bit. So we're going to go into the upper body in this series a little bit, and I'm going to try and make it a reasonable amount of time. You could fit into like your lunch hour or something along those lines, right? So it's not going to be super long, but try to get a little freedom here. So I'm actually going to turn and face you this way. If you feel like you'd like to get off of your tush, right, you're sitting on it all day, feel free to do this from standing as well. So from there, we're going to go ahead and we're going to bring the shoulders all the way up to the ears, super tense. Inhale and exhale. If you can drop them down, drop them down. If that's too much, soften them. Inhale, pardon me, go ahead and reach those shoulders up. And exhale, maybe even sigh it out of your mouth. Get rid of any of the garbage that happened earlier today that doesn't serve you. Inhale and let it go. And one more of those. Inhale and exhale. Okay. So from there, you're going to reach your arms down. Right? You're going to reach your fingertips out and bring those arms up until they're shoulder height. Reach from fingertip to fingertip as far away from the body as you can, expanding not only the front of the chest, but also that area in between the shoulder blades. And just notice if your legs started to go out. If they do, I'm going to encourage you to bring them in, right? So we start to work that leg line. Turn the palms up. Notice that when you do, maybe that collarbone lifts a little more. I like to call it an attitude adjustment. I think it's kind of helps us find a little bit more of an uplifting spirit, right? Crown of the head up. Some of my friends might stay here. If you have a shoulder injury, just keep the arm there, right? Otherwise, if it's okay, you're going to keep the arms straight and start to lift those arms up any amount. See if you can't lengthen your side waist, but soften the inner shoulders. Exhale, push those palms all the way back down. Keep the head reaching up nice and tall. Don't be rigid. Inhale, one fell swoop. Turn the palms up. Soften the inner shoulders down. Lengthen through the side waist. And exhale, turn the palms down and reach the arms down. We're going to add on with this next one. Inhale and reach those arms out and up. Pause when you get to the top. Bring your right hand down onto your chair or your desk. I like chair a little better myself. I'm going to lift right out of my left side waist or that love handle area and lengthen. So don't pull the shoulder out of the socket, right? And then you're going to go into a side bend And then soften the right shoulder down. That might mean you bend the elbow behind you. And then go ahead and inhale, whatever feels tight. Different people are going to feel this in different parts, but probably on your left side body somewhere. And let's get into the neck a little bit. You're going to turn and look towards the right shoulder-ish. Make this or as little or as big, or if don't do it if it hurts. Maybe turn to look towards the left bicep. We'll do that one more time. Turn and look towards that right shoulder. And turn and look towards the left bicep. Stay there. Inhale, get longer. And exhale, lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. Inhale, go ahead and switch those arms out. The left hand will come onto the chair. The right arm will reach up. Lengthen out of that side waist, that love handle, and then go into your lateral stretch. So I'm not trying to bend all the way to the ground with my hand or any such thing. I'm going to soften my left ear away. For me, that means I have to bend my elbow. And then as I root that sits bone, that right sits bone down, I reach away from it. And let's get into that neck. Make sure the crown of the head's reaching out of the spine, and if it's okay with your neck, you're going to turn and look down. You can make this motion really small or really big. Exhale, turn and look towards the right bicep. And turn to look down towards your left shoulder-ish. It's really the ground beyond it, right? And inhale, turn to look beyond the bicep. Pause there and reach and lengthen, and bring that all the way back up. Maybe take a couple of shoulder rolls. I like to go forward, back, up, and down, so I really land with an open chest, right? And then from there, we're going to go into another piece. Now, you can probably do this from seated, but if it's okay with your body to stand, we're going to stand. And again, if you don't have a strap, you can do this without the strap. It's just a little more effective. It will get more length in your body. I shouldn't say more effective. It'll get a little more length in the areas we're trying to open. We're going to try to open the front of the shoulders and the chest, you know, from that rounded, locked, short position. So you're going to take that strap, right, about halfway through, whatever it is that you're working with. You know, your office might have rope there too. And as you're standing up nice and tall, you're going to inhale and reach those arms up. If you don't have the strap, just reach the arms up and you'll do what you can as we move through. Now, if I were standing in front of an imaginary wall clock, I would be at 12 o'clock right now, yeah? So imagine a clock next to your right side. You're going to go ahead and you're going to go as wide as you need to on that strap. And you're going to bring those arms back to your 1 o'clock. And again, if you don't have a strap, just take the arms back behind you and then push into 2 imaginary walls with the palms of your hands. That's whether you have the strap or not. And keep those frontal hip points, the low belly pulling up. I often say zip up your zipper, right? And then go to 2 o'clock on that imaginary wall. This, for me, is the tighter of the two. You may find that's very different for you and your body. And again, push into those imaginary walls with your hands, either your fists or your palms. And then go ahead and, I'm a little above 2, aren't I? Go ahead and come down to 3 o'clock. That would be my hands are the height of my shoulders. This is full on front of your shoulder, anterior deltoid, and the front of your big chest muscle, pectoralis major. Make sure your head's not bopping forward. Make sure your back ribs are lengthening up so your waist is long. Inhale and exhale. Go ahead and bring that down. Release one side of the strap. Bring it around if you're working with a strap. We'll do that all in one fell swoop, one breath this time. So start narrower rather than wider. And inhale up, straight arms, inner shoulders softening down. Exhale, go all the way back down and through without the head reaching forward, without the low floating ribs puffing forward. And go ahead and take that strap off to the side. One more standing, and then we'll sit and we'll finish, right? So this one is downward facing dog, or a variation thereof. Some people call it puppy dog. We can do it against a wall with palms. You can do it on the back of your chair. If it's a rolly chair, a movie chair, be careful. I would do it on a desk if I had a desk in front of me, but I do not have a desk here. So I'm going to pretend this is my desk. Something about hip height is ideal, okay? You're going to put your hands, and again, if I had a desk, I could push my whole palm down, and that would be super groovy. But I'm working with what I got. You can notice I can still do it even though I don't have a desk, so don't let that be your excuse. I'll put that out there again. I'm going to walk back, and I'm going to walk back, and I'm going to straighten and lengthen my arms, just like we did with that strap overhead moments ago, until I have my heels underneath my hips. I'm going to bend my knees quite a lot, and when I bend my knees, I'm going to push my palms down into my desk and forward or chair, whatever you're working with. but soften the inner shoulders away from the ears, right? Reach your buttocks bones back behind you. Like I had my hands on the tops of your thighs and I was pulling your thighs back, but you were reaching your fingers forward away from me. And take a breath. If I have flexible people, pull those low floating ribs up. That's not everybody. Now maybe you straighten those legs a little bit, maybe you don't. But if when you straighten the legs, the spine runs up to the sky, don't straighten them. Inhale. Exhale there. And then you're going to go ahead and you're going to inhale. Look a little forward, come up so you can see where you're going. Step those feet in. Breathe. And I'm going to turn my chair forward this time, but I'm going to sit in it exactly how I did moments ago. My buttocks on the end of the seat, right? My feet in front of me, hip distance, etc. And one more time, we're going to go ahead and we're going to close those eyes. We're going to take about 5 soft belly breaths together. So exhale so we're in the same place, please. Inhale, belly is so soft it floats away from the spine on the inhale. And exhale, belly is so soft it follows, not leads, it follows the breath towards the spine. So don't effort too much here. Inhale, just be soft and allow. Eyes are closed preferably. Exhale. Find out if there's tension in the face, the shoulders, the hips. Inhale. Exhale. With this inhale, like a helium balloon, let your head just really lightly, the crown, float up towards the sky. Keep the height of the spine. Exhale, let the shoulders, the jaw, everything else soften down away from that lift of the skull. And one more breath. We'll do it together, but I won't talk about it. Ha ha. And bring your palms together at your chest. Take an inhale. With an exhale, bow your head and just take a moment of gratitude that you gave yourself this space and time. If we do this on a regular basis, these little types of things, we are more productive in our day, right? Knowing that there is a reason to do this. Namaste.